Hey, you!
Oh?
Yes, you! Do you like these opening titles?
Yeah.
And do you want to know how we managed to make them so great nowadays?
Yes.
Okay, get ready. Let's turn back time.
The birth of opening credit sequences does not match exactly the birth of cinema. In fact, the Lumiere brothers are not interested in getting credit for their clips. The following directors, as Méliès or the young Chaplin, are the ones who start to add title cards outlining title and the name of the filmmaker at the beginning of their movies. Griffith is so interested in showing his name as a director that he puts it everywhere in these cards. However, the workers involved in the realization of the movie are not considered important enough to get credit on screen. The main purpose of the credits in this era is to show the audience what they are about to watch and eventually to distinguish the famous actors. The opening credit sequence is more like a label rather than an introduction for the movie. In the 1930s, Hollywood movies start to use a graphic language that associates specific typefaces with specific genres, as for example, the ones used on wanted posters for hardened bandits in the Wild West and the paint-stroked ones for slapstick humor. These typefaces start to establish first genre conventions in the audience. The idea of using titles to get people ready for the feature film starts to become a more prominent idea with the implementation of sound, though the background is just a single static image or a short sequence shot of a landscape related to a story. The members of the crew start to be more considered, and consequently longer title sequences are needed in order to acknowledge them. But since the literacy rate is still pretty high, these lengthy credits are considered so boring that stage curtains stay down during the title sequence before the movie starts. This led in the 50s to the arrival of Saul Bass, an artist who is going to break the tradition of keeping the curtains closed, turning the making of title sequences into an art form. His work broke through the way of considering titles through a smart use of motion graphic and soundtrack. His titles evolve into more complete narratives that establish the mood and the visual character of the movie since its very beginning. The work of the title designer starts to emerge. The number of workers involved in the realization of the movie continues to increase, also because of the pressure by corporate unions, and, to avoid lengthy credits, directors decide to move parts of the title sequences at the end, instead of the beginning of the film. This change brings to the birth of closing credits. In the 70s, we start to make a distinction between opening credits, shown with the film scenes, and title sequences, always more elaborated and separated from the rest of the movie. During the 1980s, film titles start to speed up, considering the attention span of the new generation is much shorter and that they are used to faster editing. The importance given to overall effect is bigger than the importance of the information. In 1977, brothers Richard and Robert Greenberg found the R. Greenberg Associates and turned the film title design into an industry. They are the ones who are going to discover in the 90s the young Kyle Cooper, creator of many title sequences such as Seven, Flubber, and the Spider-Man trilogy. In 2003, Cooper founds the prologue. Today, as in the past, while many filmmakers have started to appreciate the importance of a powerful opening credit sequence, there are also many who have completely eliminated the opening credits in favor of the immediate beginning of the story. Whatever the solution adopted is, the purpose of a good title design is to immerse immediately the viewer into the world we want to tell him about, or to deliver the appropriate conclusion without interrupting the atmosphere.
So, what do you say?
Awesome. But
What?
I don't know. Something's still missing.
Oh, we have closing title for that.
Don't mean a thing if you ain't got that swing.